Hello, everyone. This is Simon with Our Trade. Welcome to our webinar, mapping out our week ahead. Sorry about that. My name is Simon. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. My overall experience in trading is about 24 years. I started as a prop trader, and then I moved into a different way of trading, including mentoring and educating others. And I'm very happy to have a great opportunity to assist our customers at AvaTrade. Now, webinar agenda, we'll be talking about indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex. We'll go through fundamentals. We'll take a look at economic calendar. We'll try to see what happened last week and what's waiting for us in the upcoming week. That's it pretty much. Risk warning, you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. Of course, what we do here, it's purely educational. We do not suggest any trades. Social media, please feel free to connect and follow us on Telegram, X, which used to be Twitter, and the YouTube channel, which is my favorite. You can find a lot of information there, including educational material, tutorials, and of course, webinars. So if you missed the webinar, don't stress, just go on YouTube, find the webinar that you want to watch, and feel free. Also, if you are watching this YouTube, please subscribe, click on that bell so you'll be notified of new things coming in, and feel free to share it with others. And as well, please take your time. It takes a second. You can write your comments. If you have any questions, feel free to type in right there as well. Okay. As you know, we had I call it a terrible thing, a technical issue that affected companies and individuals around the globe. Some airlines were affected, some flights were canceled, some chaos was created. And it's all about the update that was done by the CrowdStrike company, and it affected the Microsoft computers. And I think we still don't know the full extent of the damage. So this is the article. You can take a look. And Barron's, the Market Watch, I find the article at a lot of issues, and also it did, I think, put some pressure on the market as well on Friday. Now, as we know, we are on the way to U.S. elections. A lot of things is happening. We had the attempt to assassinate Trump. We have pressure on Biden to step down. He's refusing. Whatever the thing is happening there, it's a little bit confusing. In any event, nice article. You can read and see what's happening. Of course, it's about Feds. The next slide here shows that increase in probability of the interest rate cuts. And the meeting of September 18, the probability went up to about 95% probability of the 0.25% interest rate cut. So that shows more hope and more excitement to the markets in a way. Now, economic calendar, a few things about economic calendar. First of all, to the new people, it is important to know that certain things are happening. Now, how you're going to be using it, it's totally up to you. But we are traders. We have to be aware of certain things that are happening, especially important things. So here, I take out the high impact events. You can find economic calendar on our web trader or the app, also third-party providers. It's a public information. Here, I take the high impact events only. You can find and see what's working for you. You can filter through it and choose whatever it's relevant to your trading. So let's just go through it really quick. We have retail sales from Germany, followed by PMI numbers from Germany and European Union. We have PMI numbers from UK as well. We have interest rate decision from Canada, followed by the report and the press conference. And we have manufacturing PMI from US, and that's on Wednesday, lots of reports. Thursday, we have GDP numbers, important number from US, showing how economy is doing. We have CPI number, inflation number from Japan, also very important. The Japanese yen is showing a little bit of strength in the past few days. Friday, we have CPI, or core personal consumption expenditure numbers. These are the important numbers of the week, together with the GDP numbers as far as the US goes. And it's all about the Feds. They're looking how economy is doing. They're looking at the employment that we had in the past weeks. And definitely the most important, they're focusing on the inflation. So this core personal consumption expenditure is the important number for the Feds, and it's coming out on Friday. Okay, let's move to the platform. Now, also important to say, last week we had interest rate decision from European Union, from European Central Bank. There was no changes. What else? We had this chaos with computers. We did have, and we had earnings. So let's just take a quick look at the companies that did report earnings. We had two banks, Goldman Sachs and Bank of America reporting. Both reporting good. Goldman reporting great, and I just want to read a quick quote from David Solomon, chairman and CEO of the Goldman Sachs, and he says, I'm quoting, "We're pleased with our solid second quarter results and our overall performance in the first half of the year, reflecting strong year-on-year growth in both global banking and markets and assets and wealth management." So the stock did great, but then towards the end of the week, we did sell. So did Bank of America. Good earnings. The stock went down. Johnson & Johnson did great on the earnings. They did report great earnings. The stock was up 3.1% on this move. And of course, towards the Thursday and Friday, the whole market sold. So a lot of stocks went down with it. Netflix, important. It did report great numbers, but the stock ended up on Friday down 1.5%. Now, a big picture of Netflix, we did in the past weeks, we did touch that resistance of 2021. We spoke about it a few times, I think, and we did fail to move higher. And even with good earnings, the stock continued lower here. So we had few earnings. Now this week we have a lot of earnings coming out. We have about a quarter of S&P 500 companies reporting, and a lot of them. Now from the big companies, just want to bring few. We have Verizon reporting on Monday. Tuesday is a big day. There's Alphabet or Google reporting, and Tesla. Let's take a quick look at them. So Google right here went down with the market. They are reporting on Tuesday. Also Tesla, I think last time I made a mistake. I said Tesla's reporting on 31st. I apologize. Tesla is reporting on the 23rd on Tuesday. Let's see what this earning report will bring. Just to remind us, Tesla went up on a good delivery numbers, and we mentioned that the earnings will be the next testing point. So that's on Tuesday. Tesla, UPS, Visa, all those stocks reporting on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have AT&T, we have Las Vegas Sand, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Now, AT&T was doing so great so far. Let's take a quick look at the stock. Where are you? Here we go. The stock's been doing good and totally ignoring the market. As you could see, the market sold the last 2 days. AT&T is holding nicely. So maybe these earnings will have a push for the company higher, or the opposite might happen. So they are reporting on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, we have some airlines and other companies reporting. We have American Airlines, Southwest Airlines. That's on Thursday. Friday, 3M and other companies. So again, a lot of earnings. We have a quarter of S&P 500 companies. That would be around 120, 125 companies reporting this week. Okay, so those are the stocks. Now let's take a quick look at the indices. Now China. We'll start with China really quick. The index went up this week. It could be a result of some actions of the leadership meeting that we had The numbers didn't come so great, but the index went higher, and we are right here at the resistance. Let's see what works. Now, usually on this move, you would see oil and copper following to the upside. They didn't. They're showing the weakness. We're going to take a look at oil and copper and other commodities when we get there. So Japanese index, Nikkei went down. It could be because of the yen regaining some strength. We'll take a look at yen when we get there as well. It could be showing overbought signals. So that's on Japanese index. Now, U.S. indices. It was a little bit of reshuffling happening the past week or so, maybe 2 weeks. We saw some sell-off in the tech sector or high-tech stocks, and the money went to the small cap. We mentioned last week the Russell 2000. They got some momentum here with the nice move in Russell, and of course, with the general market sell-off, we had a sell-off towards the end of the week. Same thing, Dow Jones showed a tremendous move to the upside and sell-off the last 2 days. Nasdaq and S&Ps sold from starting Wednesday. Here we go, 3 consecutive days to the downside. Now, some traders would look into it as a picture, as a setup for possible reversal. I guess we'll find out in the upcoming week with the numbers and everything else. We did sell off after making a brand new all-time highs. That's the S&P 500, and Nasdaq looks weaker. Nvidia sold. As we know, Nvidia was leading the index higher. Now it's leading it down. We'll take a look at Nvidia in a moment. So here we go. The whole week, 4 consecutive days, we went down in Nasdaq, and we stopped right on 50-day moving average. And it looks like we did close below the previous resistance of June 24th. So it looks a little bit weak here. Now, let's take a look at NVIDIA. Take a look. NVIDIA looks almost identical to NASDAQ. We are on June 24th resistance right here and the 50-day moving average. So that's why I mentioned that NVIDIA is the one to watch if you're trading NASDAQ, as it's influencing the index, I think, in the most powerful way. So NVIDIA sold. Let's see, very important here also how we hold this current level around 118. Okay. Now, European indices. We had Germany sell off following the major US indices selling, and the French is sitting in this tight channel between 74.63 and 77.40. We are below 03 moving averages here. So let's see how things are working out for France. And UK index, also, you can see there's a downside pressure, but so far we're holding this level around 81.50. We are between a 50 and 100 moving average holding here. So we have some numbers coming up again this week. Let's see how things will work out. Okay, so we went through indices. We said that there was a sell-off towards the end of the week, and I think that issue with computers added the downside pressure to it. So let's see how market will try to recover possibly this upcoming week. Now let's move to commodities really quick. Gold and silver sold, and I'm not sure, but I think I mentioned the relative strength of silver against gold. And we said if gold starts selling, the silver will be selling much faster. Just over here, this last move on gold making all-time highs, and silver didn't really go higher than the previous resistance. So the moment gold turned around, silver had intense sell-off and came right to 100 moving average here. So again, the 10-year yields went up the last 2 days, and that pushed gold higher in dollar or US dollar. Gold pushed. So the yields moving higher pushed the gold lower and pushed the dollar index higher. So what's next on gold? We're back to this level here around 2,400. I think we tried to move lower. We did move at 2393.75, but we did close above. So 24, the strategic support is holding so far. Copper, as I said, normally would move higher with China index going higher. It did sell, continue selling. A lot of commodities are selling as well. Now, oil and natural gas, as well. We had a sell-off on Friday and Thursday both. There's some thoughts on the market that demand is drying up, especially after the economic data from China came weaker than expected. Natural gas as well is sold towards the Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday we had a little bit of a rebound. So we came close to 2 actually. We went as low as 2.015, and we triggered some buying from there. So that's natural gas. Excuse me. Cocoa and sugar. Cocoa, as you could see here, after consecutive resistance here, not moving any higher. We did have a sell-off at the beginning of the week, and then Thursday we had a little bit of a bounce to the upside, and Friday sell-off. So a lot of pressure. It looks like we can probably try to draw the trend line to the downside, as well as this one. So we obviously making here lower lows and lower highs. Downside pressure on cocoa grows. I mean, no surprise, we had a huge move to the upside for the past year. So that's on cocoa. And sugar, let's take a quick look at sugar. Sugar tried to run. We went at the beginning of the month of July, we went as high as 2076, and since then we've been sliding lower here. Let's take a look if we're holding this current level. This was the higher low from the base over here, and we came right back to that level. So the low here is 1859, and on Friday we hit the low of 1854, but closing a little bit higher. So we're below all the moving averages here. We did have 4 consecutive days to the downside, and we ended up bouncing from this previous support. Okay, so that's commodities. Now going to Forex, as I mentioned, with the yields going higher, dollar index had a nice move the last 2 days. Thursday, we recovered the Wednesday's loss, and Friday we continue higher. We're still below the 200 moving average here. So, of course, the major currencies went down. The same, it's a mirror image for Euro. Thursday and Friday down after making a nice move to the upside, hitting, I think, 109.50 here, 109.47. Let's see if this week continues that trend. The same thing with the pound. We did break through this resistance that held for a long time of 128. And we continued higher. We hit 130, I think, almost high. Yes, 130.43. That it was on Wednesday. And then we came down on Thursday and Friday. Now, here comes the yen. As I mentioned, yen is showing some strength here. Of course, there was a weakness of the dollar. So against the dollar, it looks strong since retesting this top here, 161.69. But against other currencies, it really started building up some strength. So that was the intervention, so to speak. I think it happened, and since then we've been holding stronger for yen. Australian dollar, that after the intervention, we actually moved another leg to the downside. Canadian dollar, another leg to the downside. Euro, another leg to the downside, and against other currencies as well. So yen is gaining some strength. Now against New Zealand dollar for some reason remains super weak. And as you can see, yen is the strongest against the New Zealand dollar if you take all the majors. So it looks good. Let's see if we continue this move towards the strength of Japanese yen. What else? Let's take a quick look at ZAR. After this triple bottom here below, right below 18, we had a nice recovery here with the strength of the dollar also helped. So we are holding so far this around 18 against dollar against the South African rand. Now let's take a look at Australian and New Zealand dollar. They also went down with the strength of the dollar, and also with the numbers of China. Somehow they were able to move the index higher, but the the fact the economy is showing further slowing. It did affect, as I said, copper and oil, and the two commodities two currencies, they call them commodity currencies, which is Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. They continue to show weakness here, especially the New Zealand dollar. Now, interestingly enough, New Zealand dollar is coming here to the support around this current level, 0.59, 0.60. That's where we shoot up from. So we'll be watching these current levels. And of course, a lot of it to do with what US dollar will be doing this upcoming week. Let's take a quick look at cryptocurrencies. You could see here, after the recent sell-off and hitting around 54, 55,000 on Bitcoin, we had a nice move to the upside in these recent days. And we are sitting right here around 67,000, trying to break through this previous resistance that we had before the sell-off. And the high here was 67,236. And we're right there trading currently right within those parameters. So that's as far as Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is an interesting story. The SEC is about to go ahead with approving the ETFs for Ethereum. And some sources say that should be done on Monday, and the Ethereum ETFs could start trading as soon as this Tuesday, the 23rd. So as you could see here, Ethereum has been looking strong. Similar to Bitcoin, it did retest the previous resistance here, the previous support the beginning of the month. And after moving to the upside, was sitting right here, I guess, waiting. So it just repeats similar story with the Bitcoin, where they announced that some ETFs will start trading. So that created a boost for Bitcoin. Similar things happening now to Ethereum. So I guess we'll find out Monday, Tuesday. We might even see those instruments starting to trade already. Let's see, I just want to read something. Yeah, the two companies actually applied for it. One is the BlackRock, and the other one is Van Eck and Franklin Templeton. And I'm reading here that likely to be a green light by SEC next Monday afternoon, this coming Monday, because that's the report from last week, July 22nd, with trading in the product expected to begin the next day, according to the industry sources. Okay, so that's as far as the cryptocurrencies. We might see ETFs for Ethereum starting to trade. Okay, so let's try to put it all together, whatever we discussed, right? We have the upcoming elections in the States, and we have there was an attempt on assassination of Trump that boosted his popularity. It looks like it. Biden is stubborn, doesn't want to step down. There's a lot of issues now. It looks like Harris, the vice president, is stepping in and trying to collect fans in her run, which is very interesting. Not going to comment on that. So that's interesting. It's always the year of elections is always interesting, and we'll be seeing what's happening. We had a terrible glitch in the computer system that affected companies and individuals and banks and financial institutions. I think even the London Stock Exchange had an issue, and they had to open later or something like that. So it just shows how things could happen, and the market is reacting to it. We had a sell-off in the market towards the end of the week. We have some data coming up this week. We have a lot of things. We have a quarter of S&P 500 companies reporting this week. We had some companies reporting last week with good reports, but sold, including Netflix. So a lot of things. We had some rotation recently happening from high ticket stocks to the small caps. So it's going to be an interesting week. Again, not to forget, we are in the middle of the summer. Summer things are slowing down, but it looks like market is really moving. Also, we had, I forgot to mention, we had VIX moving from around 12 to around 17. So the volatility is increasing, and they're just ignoring that it's summer. So a lot of excitement, a lot of opportunities to trade. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you protect your accounts. Make sure you calculate your risks, and definitely make sure you get some rest. You still have some time this weekend. Enjoy it. Have a powerful and successful week. All the best, and we'll see you all next Sunday. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.